Hi and welcome to the Digital Digging YouTube channel. In this video we're taking a look at the AC IV Thunderbolt both in history and in the game of War Thunder. Please keep in mind that the British tanks are still in CBT, so all statistics could change at the drop of a hat, and of course that it's Australian. The AC IV Thunderbolt has its origins in 1940 when the Australian government decided to take precautions against the supply of tanks from Britain being disrupted by enemy action. There was a real threat of invasion from Japan at the time, and ensuring an alternative if the supply chain was broken was a matter of crucial importance. Lacking experience in the construction of tanks, the Australian government sent a mission to the United States of America to assess the M3 design, while Britain dispatched Colonel W.D. Watson to Australia to act as an advisor. Additionally, like the Canadian Ram, the proposed Australian cruiser was going to be based on the lower hull, engine and drivetrain of the M3, with the upper hull and turret being closer to that of the British Crusader. However, by 1942 the design had adapted to become more like an American medium tank than a cruiser, both gaining in weight and displaying a higher silhouette. This was designated the Sentinel and manufactured by the New South Wales Railway Company, with production tanks being constructed by August 1942. Unlike any other tank of the period, the hull was cast as a single piece, as was the turret. The first 65 were armed with a 2-pounder gun and a pair of Vickers machine guns, and although the preferred engine for the tank was the Pratt & Whitney Wasp petrol radial or the Gerbertson diesel radial, these were unfortunately not available at the time, which resulted in the inspired improvisation of fitting 3 Cadillac V8 petrol engines which fed power into a common gearbox. The Sentinel was rapidly replaced by the AC III, which represented a dramatic improvement to the design, including much better armour, vastly increased firepower in the form of the 25-pound howitzer, and further adjustments to the engine configuration. Other experiments were conducted to stress test the strength of the tank, including one where it was decided to simulate, or rather exceed, the recoil of the British QF 17-pounder to see if the gun could be used in future versions. To do this, they fitted a pair of 25-pounder howitzers to one vehicle and fired them both at once. It passed admirably, and the 17-pounder was selected for the AC IV. By 1943, however, with large amounts of Allied tanks on the way, the programme was terminated in favour of the resources being diverted back to the railway infrastructure, which would in turn ensure the delivery of American and British arrivals to other parts of the continent. Though the Australians ended up with a very effective vehicle, it never saw service. The AC IV Thunderbolt in the game is a Tier 3 tank with a battle rating of 5.0. It has a maximum speed of 24 miles per hour or 39 kilometers per hour and a turret rotation speed of 15.3 degrees per second. It comes equipped with the QF 17-pounder cannon with 47 rounds of ammunition and a reload speed of 6.8 seconds. It also has a coaxially mounted 7.7mm Vickers machine gun with 4,250 rounds of ammunition. A stock round from the 17-pounder will penetrate 157mm at 100 metres, 133mm at 500 metres, and 112mm at 1000 metres. The hull armour is 44.45mm all round, with 50.8 at the front. The turret is 63.5mm all round, with a mantlet also at 63.5mm in thickness. This is a premium, so before any other considerations we should talk about that. The price is 2,850 golden eagles, or roughly €17 or £13 or 19 American dollars, or indeed 27 Australian dollars. For this you get 120 plus 120% reward per match and a 220% bump in research points. Is it worth it? Absolutely. This is by far my favourite current tank, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. The combination of speed, firepower and armour make this almost perfect. The armour might seem a little light, but the angle at which it's sloped turns the 50mm front armour into an effective thickness of 140mm. If you have the money to spare, I urge you not to think twice about it, and if you don't, then this is definitely one to save up for. The speed allows you to nip in and out of tricky situations, the armour gives you a good chance of dinging an enemy shell, and the 17-pounder means you can effectively tackle almost anything you come up against. Having said that, as I said before, all the British tanks are in CBT at the moment, so you might want to wait until this phase is over, just in case it gets nerfed into oblivion and you all hold me responsible for parting with your precious cash. Having said that, I've just noticed that it is for the meantime no longer available for purchase until some technical difficulty is addressed, whereupon it will be available once more. So sorry about that, and I hope it's not locked for too long. Okay, cheerio chaps, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.